Worried about the future of wireless? Avoid all those UHF headaches with Sabine's 2.4 GHz Smart Spectrum wireless microphone systems. 70 simultaneous channels, all good worldwide and all immune to TV interference. Sabine Wireless, the only wireless mic with a future.
Welcome back to Sound and Communications Viewpoint. Lee, you and I have worked together in the past on a lot of projects, and one of the things that keeps coming up is the introduction of video conferencing. And can you tell me some of the challenges that I know that we both go through together in terms of incorporating video conferencing in today?
Well, I think I'm going to have to turn the question back to you. Every client we have talks about video conferencing, but I think we've gone through a whole phase where we've introduced it, we've put it in, and it hasn't been used. See a lot of teleconferencing getting used,
right,
but not the video conferencing. We're starting to see requests for this telepresencing, I guess, high definition. What do you think that's going to change?
Well, what I've seen is high-definition video conferencing is certainly becoming the rage right now. I can't remember the last time we've actually installed standard definition video conferencing. So with the high-definition video conferencing, more things become prevalent and relevant to the situation in terms of lighting and color schemes and different things that we pick out within a space, the acoustics of the space. And I know that's something that we work with together. You know, when I tell you that I want blue walls or things like that within a space, and they don't really go with what you want to design.
Right.
But I think that that's actually going to be the next big push, and has been for some time now.
Now, is that separate from, say, this telepresence? Because we've worked with one or two situations where we're asked to create a neutral box that has to be precise dimensions by precise dimensions with a set ceiling height.
Right.
I'm thinking that that's probably the way video conferencing, the first phase, started, where it starts out very strict and then gets more flexibility as the equipment evolves.
Right. Now, you know that I'll never tell you that it's going to be something as easy as a box and we're going to put it in there.
Well, good, because you know then that I'm never going to give you anything as easy as a box.
You know, we typically do work with high-definition video conferencing, and that's going to require the build-out of the space. The telepresence is getting a lot of buzz right now in the industry, and it is taking off to a certain extent, but we're still doing the majority of our work is in standard video conferencing, high definition, where you build out the whole room, and you don't really have a box that a manufacturer might put a device inside the box, be in the whole room.
Well, I can't help but think with the growth of interest in sustainable architecture, green design, and green living, environmental consciousness in general, that this is going to take place. I think the technology has arrived at a date where it's easy enough to work with, both from our point of view for getting it built, but I'm also seeing it getting much, much easier for the end user to interface with their teleconferencing situation.
Yeah, the user interfaces have certainly become easier to use. I think they're geared more towards an end user that might not have had experience, whereas the initial video conferencing systems were somewhat complicated to operate. But I do think that it is picking up, and the way I see these rooms being built out, I don't see a slow up in that. So you're going to have to deal with us a little while longer in terms of the custom fit outs.
Well, I think that you've touched on something, which is the day two aspect. You know, we both work very hard and cooperate and deliver a sensational product. Now a client is left and has to use it, and that's where I think the whole integration model is so valuable, because there's somebody who will stand behind the product. You don't come in and have somebody go, well, it's their problem.
Exactly.
And from an architect's point of view, when you get two warring sides, the client generally turns to us, and it becomes our problem.
Right.
So having somebody who will stand behind what they're doing and can work with a client on a long-range basis is an absolute essential thing.
Right. Yeah, I do know that the architect is really taking on the responsibility of kind of managing the whole project, and everyone that's within that group, even though you don't have direct access or control over the individuals within the group. So that partnership is extremely important, and having the faith and being able to rely on that partner, be it integrator, to work within the system, I think is pretty important.
Well, and I think that's the key to the architect-integrator relationship that we were talking about, because the client does see us as a team, and we're all going to be viewed as a team. For me to be successful, you're going to have to be successful, and the client will then give the whole team a passing grade, and we can go on and work on the next project together, which I think is ultimately what we're trying to achieve.
Absolutely. See, you're really not the enemy. Thank you very much, Lee. It was Lee Trimble with Mancini Duffy, and I'm Todd Hutchins with Verrex. Thank you for joining us here at Sonic Communications VIEWpoint. Now.